Hello friends, Namaste. Today we are going to discuss one more topic, that is on resource planning for project. Okay, what is the meaning of resource planning, or what is the definition of resource planning? Resource planning is the process of identifying resources and deliver specific projects. Okay, I will repeat once again. Resource planning is a process of identify resources and deliver specific projects. So that we are going to call as what? Resource planning. So in what are the various steps are there in resource planning? So there are 3 steps are there. What, when, where and how. That means what? That is step number 1. See, to complete the project or to undertake any project, what are the resources that you require? So the resource may be in terms of equipments or any raw materials, or the resource may be in terms of human resources. So any skilled laborers are required, or any specific domain knowledge persons are required. So that we have to identify in which step? That is a what step. Okay. The step number 2 is when. So you have identified what are the resources required and how many resource persons are required or how many laborers are required. The next step is when. So when you want all those persons. For example, in doing any project, you will be having a specific start time and also you will be having a specific end time. So in which stage you want the laborers or which stage you want the resource person. So that we are going to call as what? Step number 2, when actually you want the resources. Okay. So the third step is where and how. Okay. So you got the what is the resource required and when it is required. The next step is where and how. See, suppose you want any resource person, you can actually hire them in a permanent basis or you can hire them in a contract basis until the project is going to end. So that is what, where, how, and where actually it is, whether you are going to take them in a contractual basis or in a permanent basis. So that is, and also in the terms of equipments, are you going to purchase them or you are going to procure for the rent. So that we are going to call this where and how. So these are the main 3 steps in what? Resource planning. Okay, have you got this? So let me define you what is the definition of it. So resource planning is a process of identifying the process to deliver the specific project. So that we are going to call as resource planning and the various steps included in that. So now let us go to the another one, that is the resource allocation strategies. If any person or an organization or a company, if they want to be in the process of continuous improvement, there must be a resource allocation strategies. Everyone should have a strategies for a continuous improvement. In the same way, if the resource has to be allocated in a proper way, there are different methods are there in the strategy. That is a resource allocation strategies. Under the methods, we have the first method is called replacement and modernization. What is the meaning of replacement and modernization? Means if any organization you take, or you can take any education institutes, every 5 years and 10 years the technology is going to be changing. It will be changing drastically. So that's why we have to be in a position, we have to allocate the enough funds or a resource to change for the technological changement. You have to replace the old machines with the new one, that we are going to call as modernization. We have to keep on engaging ourselves in studying new things and we have to update ourselves for the new technology. So that is what we are going to call as replacement and modernization. If you are not going to change for the current technology, in the upcoming future you will be nowhere in the market. So that we are going to call as what? Replacement and modernization. That is the first method. So next one is the capacity expansion. Suppose you have acquired some customers in a particular region. So you have got a good response from the customers. So now you have to expand yourself. You have to expand, you have to grow, you have to increase the production rate. So that we are going to call as capacity expansion. How much resource you are going to allow for the capacity expansion. So next there is another method called as vertical integration. Under vertical integration we have backward integration as well as we have forward integration. What is the meaning of backward integration? Means suppose there is one company, the company is manufacturing a car. Okay, to manufacture the car, that company is going to procure many raw materials from different companies. Yes or no? Okay, so that raw material, if the company going to choose some particular raw material, if they start their own company to manufacture that raw material, okay, so that we are going to call as what? Backward integration. Let me repeat once again. So if the car company, now what they are doing is they are taking the raw material from different companies, okay, and they are assembling in their own company, they are producing the product. Now the company decides to manufacture some of the raw material. So that means they are going backward to produce the raw materials. So that we are going to call as what? Backward integration. So another method is there that in that vertical integration we have another subdivision, that is a forward integration. Suppose if a company is manufacturing raw materials and it is giving the raw material to some other company to produce a main product. If that company decides to manufacture the car, okay, so that we are going to call as what? Forward integration. It is just reverse of the backward integration. Okay, so next one is concentric diversification. So let me explain this with an example. Suppose MTR is a food products manufacturing company. So it is producing like masala items, and once again it is launched another new product on the food products only. So that we are going to call as what? Concentric diversification. In food products only, they are giving the many different products. So that we are going to call as what? Concentric diversification. Next, conglomerate diversification. This means, suppose let us take an example of Mahindra and Mahindra. This Mahindra and Mahindra company is manufacturing the automobiles, cars, trucks, many more things, and they are also in the field of software. Not only they are in the field of software, they are into the field of tourism also, right? So that is what called as conglomerate diversification. They are doing the business in different areas. So that we are going to call as what? Conglomerate diversification. The last method that we are going to call as divestment. What is the meaning? It is the opposite of investment. Okay, so divestment or divestment. So it is the opposite of investment. So what is the meaning of that? So you should be in a position to decide when you should come out of the business. See, in all the business there will be a growth pattern will be there. So there will be maturity and there will be decline. So as a businessman, as a resource person, you should be in a position when you should come out of that business. So that we are going to call as what? Divestment. Okay, so these are the things we learned, different topics. We learned about the resource planning, and also we learned about the various steps in that and resource allocation strategies. I hope understood these topics. Thank you. Happy learning. Namaste.